Arizona from the 20-yard line.
You're listening to the Kazual Sportz Show.
Palmer stepping away at first. Palmer extending the play. Crosses the field. Larry Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald is going to take it into Green Bay territory.
The show exclusively known as the voice of the Arizona Cardinals fan club, the Bird Gang.
Fitzgerald inside the 30, the 20. Larry Fitzgerald. It's insane.
Now with your host, Earl Burnett, a.k.a. Casual E.
Bird Gang on 3, 1, 2, 3, Bird.
And welcome again, all you wonderful fans out there. It is another edition of the Kazual Sportz Show right here on the hottest internet radio station on the web, KSRN, your Kazual Sportz Radio Network. And we are back to give you another ride with this dang on sun stuff that's going down. We got to keep it going. And y'all already know what's going on, but we're going to get into it. I'm your host, Earl Burnett, a.k.a. Casual E, and you know who the man is on the side of me over here. Felix Cruz, a.k.a. the one and only Flex from Jersey. What's going on, Big Flex?
What up, Casual? What up, baby? Hey, we got a big show today, baby. We're going to have some fun with this.
Man,
we're going to get Planet Orange off the ledge. That's what we're doing. We're going to get them all off life support. Go ahead, baby.
That's been your job, man. All this whole going down the stretch. That's been your job. You want to join us? Go ahead and look us up on all 4 of our major outlets on social media, that being Facebook Live, Twitter, Instagram, and, of course, our YouTube page. Pump the YouTube page, people. Share it. Get it out there. It is going to be big, getting bigger and bigger and better as we continue to go on with this show. So the show is also brought to you by our good folks down at CASA, Court-Appointed Special Advocates. I know all of y'all remember what that is about. It's about the foster kids in the system that are needing some people to sponsor them to be aid in the court system so they can find homes. You can sponsor a child if you want to do so. This is what Bruce Arians and his wife was doing before they left Arizona. And Christine personally gave me a handshake and told me she's leaving this in our hands. And we've been running with CASA ever since. So we're going to start getting back to these events that are going to go down. And we're going to be doing some more charitable stuff with CASA. So if you want to be a sponsor, go ahead and look them up on the internet at www.voicesforcasachildren.org. Voicesforcasachildren.org. Also brought to you by the good folks down at Customer First Solutions, your one-stop spot for all your home care needs. You like, if you have plumbing, you have electrical, and they're specializing in interior, exterior painting. This is the spot to get it done at 30% cheaper than anybody in the Valley, guaranteed. Give them a call at 480-877-0255. They will get you going. 480-877-0255. And without no further ado, we're going to get this thing jumping off, man. And we got a special guest in the house. And I told y'all all week long we were having the special sons people coming in, and we didn't let you down again. We got one of the big heavy hitters again. So let my man Flex bring in our big dog.
Hey, we got the Suns Suns radio analyst, color commentator, New York's finest, Mr. Tim Kempton, 1986 McDonald's All-American. New York State Player of the Year. What's up, big fella? What's going on, brother?
I need to hire you as my hype man, dog. Oh man,
what's going on, big fella?
Nice to be on with you guys. First and foremost, you got Flex from Jersey across the screen there. Does everybody know how we got Flex from Jersey, Earl?
Yeah, they kind of started to get the story little pieces by little bit by little bit. I'm a man. Bloom came on and threw a little bit of that story at us. So yeah,
you know what though? We got to do it justice, Timmy. We got to do it justice because I don't think people understand this, right? So let me just go back a minute, Earl, and tell you, right? So I call in the 98.7 Arizona Sports, and my boy Tim Kempton and Bloom, and they doing the show, and we talking some basketball. And my brother right here, he goes, He goes, man, your name is Flex. I say, yeah. I go, no, my name is Felix. And they actually typed my name up the wrong way. They screened it and wrote Flex.
Okay.
So a lot of people don't know this, but that Flex was originated on that very show. And the crazy thing is, this is how much my brother knows what's going on here, Mr. Tim Kempton. He goes, hey, before you even tell me, he goes, with a name like Flex, man, you got to be from Newark, New Jersey.
Oh.
Yeah. Hey, he nailed it. I'm from Newark, New Jersey, man, and that's been my guy, man. And we've been rocking since, man. So yeah, this is all because of the Flex from Jersey thing. All originates from a phone call with Tim Kempton, man. Ain't that right, Timmy?
It sure is. And Earl, it just goes back. People out here can't understand that accent, dog.
Exactly.
He says Felix, that guy behind the board goes, what?
Yeah. Like, who? Huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So he just put up what he thought it was.
Right.
Oh, okay. Well, now I know. Okay. About it fits together though.
Yeah.
It fits together. I don't know how you landed that, but that's cool though. But
hey, we just roll with it. Talk to me, bro.
I love when you said from 86. Then this makes me happy because I'm an old school dude myself. And I love when I bring in the old school ballers, man. I love it because we can talk about what basketball really looks like and what sports really look like as opposed to today's sissified stuff. But
don't get me started, Earl.
I know, man. I know.
How long is this show?
It's only an hour. And speaking of sissified, I'm sorry, LeBron James and that dango act he put on that floor. Tell me, Big Timmy, I know you wouldn't have been on the floor crying like that when your eye get poked. You've been standing up at least, right?
Earl, let me tell you, Flex and I talked about it. The respect to the game and the respect to the players.
Oh, man.
These AAU guys, they've never skinned their knees. They've never played through a bloody nose after getting hit with an elbow. They never skinned their hand playing in the park. This AAU system has really and listen, you and I, we probably feel the same way, Earl. Hey, he's one of the greatest. I'm not taking that away from him.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Well, come on, man. Everybody says you're this big, bad, 6'8", 265, never gets hurt, and you take a little finger to the eye and you're laying down for 7-8 minutes. Then he goes over there to the sideline and has that little trainer putting his eye drops. Come on, man.
It just looked really bad. It just looked like a drama queen type stuff. Like,
thank you very much.
The attention to be on him so much, so then when he makes the big play, it could be like this big Michael Jordan moment. Come on, man. We don't need all of that. Just get your big butt up off the dang floor. You know you're gonna get up.
You know what kills me? He said he saw 3 rims.
Yeah, come on.
Right? I mean, come on, guys, come on, man. Like, get us doing the award, man.
Well, Flex, go back even to the sentence before that. He said he looked up at the shot clock and he saw there's only like 2 seconds. It's like, well, did you see the shot clock and not the rim, or did you see the rim? Come on, man.
Did he see the shot clock 3 times? Like, come on.
So he should have been seeing 111, a minute 11 on the shot clock.
Right.
Come on, man. Exactly. Stuff like that just drives me nuts. Though we know you're going to make the big play, and you want to make it a big storyline, and us as the media, we run with it, and that's what everybody did. They ran with it, and I'm like, I turned the TV off right after that when it happened. I said, you know what? I can't listen to this. I stopped.
Right.
Earl, you know what's funny?
When
they advertised that they were going to talk to LeBron James and Steph Curry after the game, I didn't even watch it because I didn't either. I can't.
I had to check out, man. I had to check out. Let's turn the things to where we really should be turning them to right now. Yeah. And let's first of all give a congratulations to Monty Williams for getting nominated for a Coach of the Year. He will be Coach of the Year, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, why didn't CP3 get in the top 3 or top 4 in the voting? Does anybody want to chime in on that, Tim?
Well, I just think it's a situation where maybe Devin Booker and he kind of butted heads with the votes from the same team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you look at all those other guys, Jokic, now that Jamal Murray's down, he's getting a little bit of boost because they're playing well. Obviously, Joel Embiid on the Eastern Conference and the numbers that he's put up, in Philadelphia coming into the playoffs in the first position. And then Steph Curry. I mean, the numbers and the games, 30 plus, and the shots. You can understand that. So, again, when you have two guys like Devin Booker and Chris Paul playing on the same team, it's hard to delineate and say, oh, this guy is more than that guy in a year like this. That's my opinion. I don't know what you're thinking, Flex.
Yeah, no, you nailed it, brother. They split the vote, right? And we had a feeling that was going to happen, Timmy. I think they split the vote, and this is the same issue we had with the All-Star game, right?
Right.
You got people voting in the All-Star game, but you're splitting votes between Book and CP, so only one really gets in. The other one's got to get an injury replacement. So I feel like that's exactly what happened. But I'm gonna be honest, man. I got no problem with the top three. I think Jokic is incredible, right?
I agree 100%.
Right. Jokic is incredible. Joel's been playing his butt off all year. And Steph Curry's probably having the best professional career he's ever had. This is probably his best season.
And it stands out even more because of the supporting cast. He doesn't have Clay. He doesn't have, so, yeah, I agree.
Great point. Yeah.
I think the only thing I would have. Go ahead.
If you don't mind, you talk about Monty Williams up for Coach of the Year. I think you look back. I think the prestige and the honor comes from the other coaches, the award that he already won. This is the media and the hype. When you're getting respect from your peers, so he's already won the National Association of Basketball Coaches Award as Coach of the Year. So if he doesn't win it, I think, like you two, I both think he's going to win it from the media and through other outlets, but I think the respect that has been shown by the other coaches is probably a little bit more prestigious to another coach.
Absolutely. I agree with that 100%.
Absolutely.
And he's well deserving of it. I mean, and it's not so much we don't want to always jump back to take somebody's life and put it on a scope and say this bad thing happened to him, because no, this is a good man, period. Yeah. Period. I mean, you see what he's done coming into this organization and taking this organization where they are today. And I think he did a damn good job when he was in New Orleans too. He just didn't have the talent at the time, but I think he should win the Coach of the Year for sure. But going back to the MVP, the only thing I have against Embiid being there as opposed to CP3 being in the third spot is Embiid missed a lot of time.
Right.
In this season. He missed some games where, he came out dominating, and then he missed some time. Then he got back to his, he got back to form and still did what he was doing. But CP went through the whole season. And everybody, when he came in, you remember when he came in, the first thing everybody wanted to run at was, can he stay healthy? He can't stay healthy. Okay, now he's done it, and that can't be part of the equation. What's up with that?
Right. Hey, you know what? Before I pass this on to Timmy, just to jump on that, the problem I see there, Earl, is that, CP did play the entire season, and Joel had his little hiccup with his knee. But I think if we're being honest, there's a part of the media and the fan base that doesn't even think that Chris Paul's the best player on his own team, let alone the whole league, right? I mean, there's a part of the fan base that says, how could you be the MVP of the league? You're not the best player on your team.
Right.
So so what would you think, Timmy? I mean, talk to me about that. Do you think that
I see what you're saying, but that's why I always was amazed by the people that they were letting vote on it. Because to be the MVP,
the whole story right there.
No, right. Another one, Earl. We can go on for days, dog. But the thing about it is the MVP to me. Okay, you look at their numbers. That's something that you throw in the equation, but you look at what the guy has done for your team. How has he made not only himself, but not Devin Booker? How about DeAndre Ayton? How about Mikal Bridges? How about these guys?
Right.
And where has he lifted this team to? We knew that the Sixers and Joel Embiid, they were in line to kind of just make that next step with a couple of pieces added. The framework was already there, where Chris Paul came in and changed quite a bit, and that's why, if we had an argument, you really want me to go hard. That's what I would say about Chris Paul, how he affected the other players as well as his team.
Great point, Jimmy. Great point, brother.
Absolutely.
So, and by the way, Earl, you forgot to mention Monty's from Notre Dame.
Oh.
Yeah, let's go.
I can sing the fight song if you really need me
Oh,
to.
no. We
I
good.
can warm up the vocal cords.
Oh, no, we good.
Hey,
man.
hey,
It's
remind
much love,
people,
much love.
hey, look at that ESPN 30 for 30 convicts versus Catholics, right? Yeah, my boy Tim Kempton played a big role in that, man. He took care of business and smacked up on them Hurricanes, right? Was it the Hurricanes, right?
Yep.
Yeah. That's a good one. That's a good one. But yeah,
love the resume talk. Love the resume talk. Okay, but we're sitting on it. We're sitting on something here that's kind of bugging me a little bit. I know you probably getting the same thing here, Tim and Flex. I'm hearing all over the dang on media and all over all the radio stations and TV stations talking about this could be the first 7th seed to come and make a run and to win a championship. That's kind of unfair, right? I mean, you can't call this a 7th. I mean, they are literally a 7th seed, we know, but this is the first time a 7th seed's been this talented. To call them a 7th seed, to say, to fall back on, this is going to be the first time it ever happened. Not that it's going to happen, because I still think the Suns got a chance, but I'm saying everybody's running with that. This could be the first time a 7th seed could beat a 2 seed. I'm like, come on, man. That's a little unfair. Because
yeah, I agree, because you can't have it. You can't have it both ways. You can't sit there and say, well, LeBron James and Anthony Davis missed all this time and then call them a 7th seed.
Right.
I do think that the Lakers deserve some respect. First of all, they're defending NBA champions. So that, but the thing I do like is that you get a chance. I like the route that the Suns have to take, starting with the LA Lakers, because you want to be the best, beat the best.
Right.
And I don't care if the Lakers are the 7th or if they were the 10th seed and got into the playoffs. They're the defending NBA champions, and you have LeBron James and Anthony Davis. So I kind of agree with you in the fact that people are saying, oh, they're the 7th seed, but they're the LA Lakers and they're supposed to win. It's like, well, which way do you want?
Right. Where we going with this? Right.
Exactly.
Right. Hey, I don't listen, Timmy. You and I both talk about this, man. Like, that team. Listen, the disrespect of Vegas starting, opening the line with the Lakers as a negative 300 and the Suns at a plus 240. I mean, that's just blatant disrespect.
Yeah.
And if I'm being honest, man, if we're gonna give the Lakers the respect that we're giving them, I mean, damn, man, you talking about 72 games. You played everybody head to head. You fought in this Western Conference. You were 1 game away from having the best record in the entire basketball association. Not the West, not your division, the entire league. I mean, we're talking about 1 game from being the best team in basketball.
Best road record in the league.
Exactly. Best road record, best conference record. I mean, they just ran away with things. And it just seems like people are easily just dismissing them now because, I mean, did they not watch them play last night? Did they not watch that this team is nowhere near hitting on all cylinders? So I want to get into that, man. I want to get into
51 games is a heck of an accomplishment. That 50, Flex and Earl, as you guys both know, 50 is the benchmark when you have an 82-game season.
Right.
Exactly.
This is a team that got to 51 in a 72-game season.
That's
after not playing in the playoffs in the last 10 years. So, yeah, I agree. Say what you want about the Lakers. You know me, Flex. I'm more of a positive person, and I'm going to talk about the Phoenix Suns and what they did. And just like you, I think that's more disrespectful of, come on, man, 51 and 21, best road record, playing, they were shorthanded at times this year. Talk about the bench. I mean, how Juan Moore and Langston Galloway have been sitting there on the bench, and all of a sudden these guys come in and like they've been playing every night and put up numbers. Talk about the depth, the signing of Torrey Craig, get him off the pile in Milwaukee. By the way, what is Milwaukee thinking, dog?
Who knows?
Did they use Torrey Craig right now?
Who knows?
Oh yeah, there's a whole bunch of teams that can use Torrey Craig.
They're gonna wish. I guarantee you, they're gonna wish they had him because I think they're finna get upset in that series again from Miami.
Right. Hey, you know what? We got to backtrack for a second here because we talked about Monty Williams winning Coach of the Year and we talked about CP and the MVP thing. But let's give some respect to James Jones, man. I mean, this is a guy who I think for my money is absolutely the executive of the year, GM of the year, for what he was able to do. And then I think he solidified it with that Torrey Craig trade right at the, I think no one wants to mention it, but he got him for $500,000, man. I mean, how's that possible? I don't know. But that guy, I've been saying since the trade, Timmy, we talk all the time, brother. We talk about it, right? We've both been kind of saying that guy's going to win us a playoff game. Some way, shape, or form, that guy's going to win a playoff game. So shout out to James.
Without a doubt. And you just look at the moves, the savvy moves, and sometimes it was addition by subtraction. Sometimes he would just waive a guy and people were saying, man, you could have gotten something for him. Well, he didn't fit in. Right. And the easiest thing to do was to waive the guy and just move on, open up a spot to add a guy like Torrey Craig. So, yeah, James has done a great job. And also something that people don't – you got to understand the relationship with James Jones and Monty Williams. You hear all the time about how a GM brings in a guy and the coach is like, didn't know the guy was coming.
Right. Right.
The synergy between James Jones and Monty Williams and the coaching staff is something else and something special. You talk about teams like this. I happen to be on one with Barkley and those guys. That group actually liked each other. We hung out. We went to dinner. We played golf. The Steve Nash era. He was the Pied Piper. We'd land in a city. 10 minutes later, there was 12 guys walking out. And it's the same thing here, Flex. The book makes one call. All of a sudden, 12 rides are pulling up to the house, and those guys are hanging out. So there's something to be said, and that also goes back the way Monty Williams and James Jones put this squad together, and guys that work hard, guys that understand their roles, guys that will sacrifice for the team.
Right.
Great point, Tim.
Those are really, really good points. Love that. Let's flip the script and go back, to the series, because this is the conversation. Of course, this is after 11 freaking years of us not being in the damn playoffs. This is our time. No matter how long or short it is, this is our time. So, but going forward with this Laker team, tell me if you guys saw what I saw last night. And what I saw last night, the Lakers struggled. They did look a little vulnerable to me. LeBron didn't look as healthy as I think he's making it out to be. He looked like after that game that he just got through playing in the third round, playing a team. He looked spent. I'm telling you. And I'm not that guy that's gonna hope somebody gets hurt, but I'm saying I don't think he really fully healed. And where they are right now, they had to play him. So him and Anthony Davis are kind of rolling out there really beat up. So you could get into a series with a team and get beat up and some things start to happen and you get hurt again. It could happen.
Right. Hey, you know what, Timmy? And I want to. This is a perfect segue because you're a ball player, man. So, that's a great point. Listen, what I saw last night was a guy that can go. He can go north south, but he's having a really hard time going east west. His lateral move, and I've had that dreaded high ankle sprain. Listen, let me tell people something. It sounds less than what it actually. They say high ankle sprain. It's actually your fibia. It's actually a bone. Fibia and tibia kind of come together, and it's like a smash up at that little joint area there. So, I know I've had it multiple times, and it's taken me months to recover. Timmy, I'm sure you're a ball player, and you probably went through it. Talk to us about how hard it is, because I saw Toscano Anderson doing things to LeBron yesterday, and I'm saying, man, LeBron is hurt, bro. So talk to me, Timmy. Talk to me.
And that's the thing. I mean, it's obvious, and it's just the nature of the game, and that's what you do. Like you said, up and down the court looks fine. He had that breakaway layup, went through contact, lays it in, no problem. But there's another thing that you notice. He ain't finishing at the rim right now. Right. He's just laying everything up.
That's fact.
Right. So he's getting to the rim, but he's not powering through people. And Flex, you made a great point with the lateral movement. When basketball, so much of it in the half court is sliding, moving your feet, especially the way guys can handle the ball. Chris, he jumps out on a switch on Chris Paul. he's gonna have banana boat crime on crime again, just like he did to your boy Carmelo when we played him at Portland in the last week.
That's facts.
Yeah. He went 4 for 4 on Carmelo whenever he jumped out on him.
Whenever they switched out,
exactly. Yeah. So that's a great point with the lateral movement. And Earl, I felt the same way. They just look tired. I don't know if it's LeBron and all the seasons catching up, the injuries combining into it. And here's the other thing. Personally, I just don't think their roster is that good.
Okay.
If you match up the guys right now, okay, you want Alex Caruso or you want Cameron Payne?
Okay.
You want Torrey Craig or you want I'd even throw Torrey Craig in there against Kyle Kuzma.
Right.
Torrey Craig is
absolutely.
Torrey Craig is Torrey Craig is you know what you're going to get from him every time. Kyle Kuzma, you have no idea, dog.
Yep, on and off. Yep.
Exactly. So that's why I say Kyle, Torrey Craig there. And then, if we get in foul trouble, look what Etuan Moore just did.
Mm-hmm.
That's unbelievable. And then you throw in Javon Carter. And then the one big switch that I like that Monty did towards the end of the year was watching when he threw those 3 guards out there with, Cameron Payne, Javon Carter, and Chris Paul at times, or throw in someone else.
Yeah.
Well, those guys switch on everything.
Right.
And now you have spacing. Now you have a backcourt that can absolutely kill you offensively with their shooting, their dribble penetration, but then they're getting it done on the other end of the court as well, defensively. So I thought that was a little tweak that Monty showed at the end of the year. I was kind of glad no one really picked up on it. I'm sure I'm sure the Lakers will watching film.
Right.
But I thought that was an interesting thing towards the end of the year that Monty did, putting those 3 guards out there.
It's going to be interesting to see all of the adjustments going through a 7-game series. It's going to be really interesting to see that. But I like to jump on some of the comments we got from some of our listeners here. And one good comment here. And you, Tim, as you call these games, I noticed in almost one thing that stands out in every game you call, the referees. And one of our listeners here says it's going to be the Suns versus the Lakers and the refs. You gotta have that in this equation, because last night I saw a call that was so late and they waited and looked at LeBron start to lobby for this call to go down, and bam, next thing you know, the whistle got blown and they called it. I'm like, wait a minute, come on now.
Earl, this has always been first of all, I don't understand why the NBA protects them as much as they do. They're part of the game. They're humans.
Right.
It's just like it's when you take something away and make it off limits is when that conspiracy thing. Well, why can't we talk about them? They're just as much as the game as a guy. Right. And then that line that they always throw out in the playoffs. Well, we want the players to decide the game. Yeah, but if you just crack a guy across his arms and that guy can't make a layup, that's not letting the players decide.
Right.
You want the talent to come through. And good news, bad news, high definition cameras, replays, we get to pick their games apart. But they also have that vision with the replay monitors. And that's what's frustrating to me. And I try not to harp on them early.
Right.
And I appreciate you saying at least once a game. I try to keep it once a game. But what I actually enjoyed last night was watching that game. And for one of the few times I heard Mark Jackson, Jeff Van Gundy, and Mike Breen actually talk about it in a couple of instances, just like you did, Earl, where they said, how did they not see that? That was clearly a foul.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit, let's talk about this series, because this is what's going down. Tell me something. I mean, DA has to be the catalyst in this series for the Suns. He has to be. He has to be the centerpiece that's going to tip this thing in the Suns' favor. He has, and we know CP3 is going to do his thing. And even the first time Book been in the playoff, I don't see Book backing down from a challenge. He's going to do his thing. DA is the key. He is the key to this whole entire series. What type of performance do you get from him, and what do you expect from him to help get them through this series?
Earl, I agree with you 100%. And in saying that, it's amazing how you have these talking heads. And Earl, Flex and I have talked about it. DeAndre Ayton has played an unbelievable season. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, how many touches does he get?
Tell him, Timmy.
I mean, running in low post, he's actually developed a nice little game. First of all, Andre Drummond has no chance.
Okay.
Because if they give the ball to him in the low post, which I hope they do, you face Andre Drummond up and use your quickness. Use that short little jump shot. Andre Drummond can't stop that. Right. Those spin moves in the post, he's learned very well. And oh, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, he has become a very, very knowledgeable basketball player. Understands where double teams are coming. Knows where to look to the weak side for an open teammate for an uncontested shot. And how about this? Very unselfish. He doesn't look. How many number one draft picks out there don't come out and try to get theirs every night?
Right.
And the son of a gun has averaged a double-double since he's been in the league.
Right.
I mean,
right.
He's been huge this year, learning how to stay on the court, has learned how to play without picking up fouls, able to switch out on guards.
That's key.
He does a nice job not getting blown by when he switches out to a guard. So the Suns, extend the possession, get a chance to scramble, get a guard back on there. But I agree with you 100%, Earl. He's got to kill it on the defensive glass.
Right.
And he's got to be a focus on the offensive end, because I think, even when they go to a smaller lineup, Flex, and put Anthony Davis on him. Yeah. Anthony Davis needs to be brought away from the basket, get involved in pick and rolls, let DeAndre roll to the basket, and let's see when you take one of your guys like that, when they go, without Andre Drummond or Marcus Gasol or one of those guys, and put him on the floor in the pick and roll situation.
Right. Hey, you know what, Timmy said, this is, and Earl, I'm glad you brought that up, because I definitely, this is the narrative that I'm starting to hear, which I'm not comfortable with. And I'm hearing it from all over. So the narrative is, I'm hearing people say it already. It's going to be DeAndre Ayton. If the Suns lose, it's because DeAndre Ayton didn't step up. If the Suns do this, it's because so they're already setting the tone for that. And here's my problem with that. DeAndre Ayton just has to go out and do exactly what he's been doing all year. There's going to be games in this playoffs where you're going to look at the box score and you're not going to see 20 points.
Flex, you and I have talked about that. You can't look at the box score. You got to look at the tape.
There you go. DeAndre Ayton value to this team goes way beyond the box score. It's not even close. So, he's going to set the screens that's going to give Book a cleaner look. He's going to set the screens that's going to open things up for CP. He's going
to rim run in transition and take two bodies with him while two guys are licking their chops in that short corner for a three.
Exactly. So that's my thing. I don't want people to get caught up in, look at the box score. He had 11 points and 8 rebounds, so he didn't play well. Let's not do that. That's not fair. If we're going to analyze it, let's analyze the entire basketball game. Right. I think DA is going to be fine. I think the only thing I'm a little worried about is if the actual Phoenix Suns game plan is going to be a little bit more aggressive for him, like get him more involved. That's what I'm talking about.
But Flex, man, that's what I want to see.
Right.
I want to see them change that up and get him the ball more. Reason why is because we saw Golden State live and die by that 3 last night. You're going to live by it. And I don't want the Suns to come in this series and get 3-point happy. I just don't want to see that. I want to see them make a conscious effort to give DA the ball in the paint, because that's what the playoffs is about. The playoffs are going to be about, if you don't have a half-court game, you're going to struggle in this playoff. And and this team can play any style. They can play a half court game. Yeah. They can play a shoot you out, whatever, however you want to play it. But you cannot have that type of game against this Lakers team. They will destroy you in the paint if you don't.
Can I ask you something, Timmy?
Inside presence.
I'm sorry, Earl. I'm sorry.
No, you good.
You just said something, and I want to throw this at Timmy. Take that Golden State team yesterday, and let's talk about that game with the Lakers, and take Javon Looney out and give them DeAndre Ayton. Do they win that basketball game?
Probably.
I think they do with his presence. Javon Looney, first of all, I think DeAndre gets more offensive rebounds than he does. Yes. I think he does a better job in the pick and roll attacking the basket, in those situations. So without a doubt. And then the other thing, Earl, just to go back to your point, I love this stuff, man.
Let's go, baby. Let's go, big fella.
If you get DeAndre Ayton involved, what becomes easier? Everybody thinks of LA, the number one defensive team. Right. Why? They jam the lane. If you get the ball in, defense sucks into the paint. Now you kick it out. Now all of a sudden those 3-pointers become easy.
Right.
It's how you get them.
How you get them.
The number of you shoot.
Exactly.
This is a big. That
is 100% on point. Key.
Yes.
There's a such thing as a bad three and a good three. We need all the good threes to come off inside out. I'm telling you.
How many times has DeAndre Ayton got an offensive rebound this year, off balance, kick it out to someone, and they bang a three on someone's head?
Right. And you know what? This is the funny thing. When he gets that rebound and he scans the floor, he kicks it out for that open three. If they make the three, no one talks about it. But if he misses the three, everybody says, "Damn, why didn't DeAndre just back him down and dunk that?" And it's like you can't have it both ways, guys. We gotta be able to understand that this young guy. I'm agreeing with Tim Kempton, and I'm gonna always rely. I tell this to Timmy all the time. This is a guy that played in the NBA. This is a guy that was part of the 1993 NBA Finals team. This guy played the big man position in the NBA.
Right.
This guy went up against guys like Kareem and stuff, man. We keep talking, Timmy, but anyway.
When the big man was dominating, the big man was when basketball played from inside to out, not outside in.
Right. So Timmy understands the big man game, and so I enjoy talking to him about what DA does because I don't think DA gets enough credit for his IQ as a center at 22. Yeah, like you know what I'm saying, Timmy?
The strides that he's made in the last year or two, and you gotta give big shout out to Mark Bryant.
Mark Bryant, baby, let's go
with him. Just look what he did with Steven Adams, and no disrespect to Steven Adams, but if DeAndre Ayton makes the strides that Steven Adams did, talent-wise, DeAndre blows him off the page. Correct. But if now he understands at the level that Steven Adams does and plays with that intelligence, he's still got plenty of room to grow. That's the amazing thing. A guy that's come into this league and averaged a double-double his rookie year, and now he's understanding where the double team is coming, understanding how to get himself free and to take advantage of his skills. I don't think he'll, if he backs down Andre Drummond once, it's going to be to try to bounce him back so he can shoot his turnaround jumper over his right shoulder to give him a little bit more space. He's not going to, try to go 2-3 bounces because Andre Drummond ain't moving.
Right.
He has to stay on the floor. So also, give me your thoughts on this, Tim. When the deadline went by, I know everybody's been crying and ailing about, we didn't add a big man behind DA. Do you think that Saric and Kaminsky are going to be able to give you solid minutes behind him? Because there's no way he can play 48 minutes a game and keep you, without fouling out or getting in foul trouble or getting tired or spent through the game. So can these guys come in there and make a difference to force the Lakers to have to adjust to them? Because you have to make this just a chess game with the playoffs. You better make end game adjustments. If you're not doing it, you're in trouble. So can they do that? Can Kaminsky and Saric live up to what they're going to be having to live up to behind DA in this series?
First of all, the short answer I believe is yes.
Okay.
And you look at the Lakers last night. Frank Vogel showed his cards a little bit last night. In that second half, did that man tighten up his rotation?
Yes,
Montrezl Harrell didn't even get on the floor.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He sat Schroeder down the whole fourth quarter, almost the whole
fourth quarter.
Wow.
So what does that tell you? That tells you right there that Frank Vogel doesn't have much trust in his bench, in his lineup.
Okay.
So if you shorten it that quick, so that's one of the things that Monty has talked about frequently is the trust and the confidence that he has in these guys. And I think the way Frank and Dario play, they will be. I don't think Frank Vogel is going to use Marc Gasol at all in this series unless Andre Drummond gets hurt and he's forced to. So now you have Frank that adds movement. He's great out at the top of the key. You know, the high-low between him and Dario, the way that Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson and all those guys are slicing to the basket now, knowing that Frank is on the top there and a very good, capable passer. So, again, it's one of those things. You may not see it in the absolute numbers, but if you watch the film, I think they will have an effect. And then you add both Dario and Frank as big man that can step out and shoot it. So that automatically, even if you do play Marc Gasol, between Andre Drummond and Marc Gasol, they want no business stepping out of the paint. So if Frank's at the top of the key, whether it be in transition or after a pick and pop on a high pick and roll, their bigs, if you're watching the film last night, their bigs stay in the paint even on pick and rolls. Yeah. So that gives them plenty of time for them to contribute on the offensive end, both Dario and Frank, with their three-point shooting ability.
Okay. Yeah. I'm going to ask both you guys this question. I'm going to start with you, Flex.
Yep.
Give me one thing that cannot happen in this series for the Suns to win this thing. It's something that just you can't happen. You can't allow this to happen.
I mean, if I'm sitting when I look at this series, man, we know LeBron and Anthony Davis are going to do what they do, right? When I look at this series, the one thing that we can't happen is we can't allow them to destroy us on the offensive glass.
Okay.
Just can't happen. It can't be. We can't allow them to we can't look at the box score at the end of the night and see that they got, 15 second chance, 15, 20, 30 second chance point. It's going to be too much of a downhill battle, uphill battle, I'm sorry, if we're getting killed like that. So the one thing we can't do is we can't do that, and we have to lock in and try to prevent that Laker team from imposing their will with their length. If we can control that and stop the second chance points, I think we're good to go. But if they kill us on the glass every night, we're in trouble, man. On the offensive glass.
Tim?
I thought you were going to take my line, Flex, when you started talking about that. But somewhere along those same lines, you have LeBron and you have Anthony Davis. Okay, we know those two clowns.
Right.
And you cannot let Tucker Horton, you cannot let Wes Matthews, you cannot let Alex Caruso. You cannot let those guys get 15, 16, 18 points.
There you
so
go.
What does that mean? You got LeBron and you got Anthony Davis. You can't lose your focus and jam one side of the floor way overloaded too much and realize that there are guys behind you. They can hit open shots.
Right.
So if nothing else, stunt in the lane, but make sure you're connected to your guy enough that you can close out on him and he just doesn't have a fresh look. So my biggest thing when you have players of their caliber, sometimes you get fixated on them. If you're going to double team, time it. When it's in the middle of a dribble, that's when you go. You don't double team LeBron or Anthony Davis when the ball's in their chest and they're picking you out, because then they're going to pick you apart.
Right.
If you're going to run and be hard at it, go when the ball's on the dribble, and then stunt a little more. Fake like you're going and then get back to your man. And if they happen to score on that possession, hey, they're great offensive scorers. You're not going to stop them, but me personally, to answer your question, Earl, you can't let those other guys have big nights in the series.
Agreed.
Absolutely. I'm gonna give you what I think as far as though both of y'all's points are right on point. It's this. I'm gonna go from another angle. What they cannot allow to happen in this series. I don't think they can allow. First of all, they cannot lose game one. They cannot trail in this series. I don't think they should be trailing in this series at all. They have to stay either even or one ahead and win this series. If they go in there and drop game one or split, then to me, it's like you're giving that Laker team what they don't need. They already have all of the experience to know how to finish that deal. Stay ahead of them. We got to stay ahead of them. I think if the Suns could come in there and, like you said earlier, Flex, blitzkrieg them in game one. Just run them off the court in game one. And then that game two, take them down the stretch and let CP3 and Book finish the game for you. You got to take care of home court to win this series. I can't imagine this team. I can't even imagine a championship team, any championship team, whether Lakers or whoever, a championship team, you're giving them too many opportunities to take you out. They're going to take you out.
Right.
So,
right.
I
think game one is, game one is, I think game one is a game where you go out there, you make your statement. You go out there. I think this Laker team is tired. I don't think they're healthy. I think they're underestimating this Phoenix Suns team. I think they're getting a little fat on what they've done. And I think they're going to come in on Sunday and play a very lackadaisical game. I think the Suns are going to jump out in front of them. And I think the Suns are going to lay it to them pretty good game one. Now, I think that the series is going to be decided. This is my opinion. I think how we play game two and how we handle game two is going to go a long way in saying how this series is going to come out. I think if we come into game two and we're able to seal the deal and get that win, now you're talking about going to LA 2-2. You're playing with house money. You might be able to steal one there, come back to Phoenix and wrap it up early. That's ideal. But I agree with you. Game one is the one you got to win. You cannot lose game one. Game two is more of a, hey, I would love if we can win it, but I can live with it if we didn't. I think we can go to LA and split. What do you think, Timmy?
Yeah, I both agree. Couldn't agree more. I think you got to throw that first punch. I'll tell you. I'll tell you a little story. This is a back in the day story. When I got drafted by the LA Clippers, and Mike Woodson and Larry Drew were my vets, and we go up first week of the season, play Portland, and Larry Drew came up to me and he goes, he's going to throw a punch. He's going to hit you harder than you've ever been hit before in your life. Wow. I'm talking about I just lost the name. Help me out.
Portland. Maurice Lucas. Got it.
Big Mo.
Hey, Mo Lucas.
Larry goes, he's going to hit you, and he's going to hit you harder than you've ever been hit in your life. He goes, you better come down the next time down the floor and look him straight in the eye and hit him again.
Right.
And try to hit. You're not going to hit him as hard as he hits you. He said, but try.
Right.
Because if you don't,
it's over.
It's over. So I went out there and I did. Earl, I was a little scared when I threw that forearm to the
That's Mo Lucas, baby. That's a big boy.
Dog. That's Mo Lucas. He just kind of smiled at me and laughed and shook his head. And we were good the rest of the night, dog. And why I tell you that, it's just like the Suns. They got to go out there and stand these guys up.
Right.
And, hey, we're not having you coming in here thinking that you're going to bully us.
Right.
Now, I don't know if they got Larry Drew in their ear to tell them that, but I think Monty and their coaching staff have enough experience to explain it in their own way that they've got to make the Lakers respect them and stand up, because just like Vegas, you all three of us I think agree that I don't think the Lakers respect the Suns right now in this playoff.
Right.
I agree with that 100%. And that's what's been happening since day one. Before they even matched up, it was about they wanted us. They would rather have us so they tank get us. And okay, now you have to go ahead and go out there and show them, okay, this is what they want. Let's give them what they wanted. So, I mean, and I can still see this being a very highly competitive series. I don't see this being a runaway series by either team. But the Suns to me have an advantage, and it's the core group that plays together as a team. The way if they come in and play the defense they played in that Cleveland overtime, if they can play that type of defense, because this is going to be the low scoring. Don't think you're going to get 120 and 100. You know, this you saw that score last night. It's going to be
that's playoff basketball. Yeah, that's playoff basketball. Yeah.
But if the Suns can match that intensity in the defensive part of the thing, forget the offense is going to always take care of itself. We got guys that can score the ball. If we can come in and play that type of defense and make them feel us, like you said, Tim, make them respect you, make them feel you. And I'm particularly talking about Ayton. Throw an elbow or two. Let them feel you. Don't go in there with no little passive attitude, because if you get past, all they're going to do is clown you, and they're going to eat us up in that paint. I want them to go in there, like he said, just stand up with your chest out. Y'all not coming in here taking this from us. And you got to have that type of attitude.
You may even take a flagrant foul early.
Yeah.
I mean, it's part of the game. I mean, unfortunately, they call it a flagrant foul now, Earl.
Right.
Back in the day, it was just a hard foul, man.
Hard foul, dog. That's how we did. That's how they did it in Harlem, right, Timmy? Just a hard foul.
They got to go to the camera and look at it and see if it's a flagrant foul or not.
No blood, no foul, man. It's crazy. Hey, you know what, guys? That's crazy, man. You know what, guys? You know, the beauty of this series is, you know how to, I'm a big boxing fan. And when you watch boxing fights, they always say, right, styles make fights, right? It's not who the two opponents are. It's more of a styles thing, right? And so I look at this basketball team and I say, well, who's got the best backcourt? That belongs to the Phoenix Suns, right? Check. Okay. But then you go to the front court and you obviously got to go to the Lakers. So you're going to go check. So now you got a David and Goliath kind of thing going on. You got the small guys are better here, but the big guys are better there. So then you say, well, who got the better bench? That's the Phoenix Suns. And then you say, who's got the better coaching? Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I believe Monty Williams is a better coach than Frank Vogel. I just do. Okay. I know the dude won a championship last year and all that, but this is the LBA, right? The LeBron Basketball Association, right? So he don't really need a coach. Like, he don't really need a coach. I'm not giving. So when you look at it like that, I'm going to look at it in 5 categories. You got your backcourt. I think the Suns win that. The Lakers have the front court. I think we got the better bench. I think we have the coaching. And then you got to talk about the intangibles, right, Timmy? The intangibles. And the intangibles are the guys that we can't account for. The Javon Carters, the guys that you mentioned, the Etuan Moores, the guys that can come in and play a role if something unexpected happens, right? Right. And so when I look at that, I'm saying, man, this Phoenix Suns team, in every way, shape, or form, other than the front court, is the better basketball team. So we just got to let this play out, and we got to play Phoenix Suns basketball. And I'm more of the other hand, Earl and Tim, when I coach basketball and I play basketball, I'm going to play you to my strengths, right? I'm not going to adjust to you. I'm not going to try to play what you're good at. I'm going to try to play Phoenix Suns basketball. And the way we play is to put them out on the island, make them run, defend, get scrappy, get them in the pick and rolls, mismatches. If we can play our Phoenix Suns basketball team, our game,
and you're
right, that Laker team can be cracked. Talk to me.
And you're right. That's exactly what I'm saying. If we play our style, we force them to adjust to us rather than the other way around. I mean, you're gonna adjust to those teams regardless, because that's the playoff series. But we don't want them to be the dominant team, right? Dominant style. Let's let our style dictate this series, and I think we can. We got a guy that can orchestrate the offense like CP3. He's a hard dude to keep up with when he's got things going. So.
And Dennis Schroeder's their point guard. Let's not forget who was giving Dennis Schroeder the business in practice every game last year. The point guard himself, right? The point guard, right? So we, you know what I'm saying? Come on, hey, LeBron had to go up against our guy, Torrey Craig in the Western Conference Finals last year. Jay Crowder faced him in the NBA Finals last year. I mean, there's a lot of
good. That's good.
There's a lot of little things.
You're still throwing them Rafters out to us, man. We hanging on,
we there, brother. Brother.
Timmy, you said something earlier that got me. It caught me. You talk about flagrant fouls. Speaking of all the flagrant fouls that we can have, do you see Sticks getting some time in this series? Because you talk about 6 fouls that you just give away. Let that kid go out there and bang and throw the elbows and whatever. Let's go.
Hey, Earl. Even in this soft world of these millennials and the modern day NBA, I would be scared for Sticks. The only way we're going to see Sticks is if it's a blowout. If it's 12 or more points with 10 seconds left to go in the game, dog.
He did a pretty good job against the Spurs' first lineup. That was their starters, man. He went out there and balled out.
He did. Jakob Poeltl is not.
No, that's true. That's true.
That's true. Who else? Mr. Gay is not Anthony Davis.
Right.
Rudy Gay. He's Rudy's kind of into his retirement stroll, not going inside. Yeah, no, we will not see Sticks in his playoff series.
He's gonna be talented, though. I like his game.
You know what impressed me even more was how the organization went ahead whenever he was on the floor at the end of the season. He was playing the smaller position. You had Dario with him. You had Frank, because that's where this kid is going to play in the NBA. It's just his body type and his skill set. He doesn't have a strong post-up physical game. So when he's able to match up against a three where he's 6'10" and he can use those little jump hooks over those small guys. But how many times did he run in from the wing and get a dunk or get an offensive rebound? He's going to be one of those hybrid 2 threes in the league. So very impressed where they're already thinking about his development, putting him on the court at the end of the year when they had opportunities with Frank Kaminsky and Dario Saric to get him game feel of where he's going to play in this league going forward.
Right. Well, Big Ten, we definitely love having you come in, man, and we're running a little short on time here. But before we let you get out of here, I mean, you're going to be sitting on that microphone in the Phoenix Suns broadcast doing a playoff game for the Phoenix Suns. Give us your perspective, what you feeling like right now going into that game as a broadcaster, sitting there going, this is not regular season. This ain't a bubble. This is not a preseason game. Man, we in a freaking playoff game, man. How you feeling about that, man?
And it couldn't get any better being the LA Lakers in the playoffs.
Absolutely.
Through the years. But Earl, it is. There the energy in the building. There are still moments, throughout the season and many more than coming up empty. You walk in and you get excited. And I think that's what, is so fun about doing the broadcast is you're still watching the best basketball players in the world night in and night out, whether it's in the middle of the season in January in Milwaukee watching Giannis Antetokounmpo. But again, the added 10 years of having seen great basketball in the Phoenix Suns organization with Steve Nash and those guys, and then hitting that drought and now coming back, there's definitely going to be a butterfly or two as we open that series for me on the broadcast, without a doubt.
Wow, I can imagine, man. And again, we want to thank you for coming in. That is the great Tim Kempton from the Phoenix.
Hey, Timmy, hold on, dog. I ain't done with you, man. Hold on real quick. Hey, are you allowed to tell me what you thinking? What you thinking in this series, man? You got a prediction for me?
Oh yeah, I actually think the Suns are going to win in 6. I don't think
Let's
it goes
go.
to 7. I think they just take care of business. And again, I go back to I think a little bit what Earl said. They win the first 2. Now LA thinks they have to win it, and the Suns have been very good on the road this year. They're not afraid. They've come back from getting down on the road. They have a tenacity. They have a calmness about them, and I think that comes from the leadership on the floor in Jay Crowder and Chris Paul. So I think, just like Earl said, I think it's very competitive, but I think the Suns win in 6.
You're right. And if we keep up what we've been doing all season long, they don't lose 2 games in a row that often. So if we keep that up going, we'll win this series. We'll win it in 6. So I'm a ride with that too, man. And it's gonna be good. It's gonna be awesome. But that is the great Tim Kempton. Let's go.
Let's go.
The Kazual Sportz Show. That is the great Tim Kempton joining us. Thanks again, Tim, for coming in, man. We really appreciate your time. And you're welcome in the Kazual House anytime, bro. Anytime.
Thanks for having me, but guys, great seeing with you and hooking up.
Hey, Tim, we love you, big fella. Thanks for popping on, man. We'll talk soon, brother.
Love you too, Flex. Talk to you, bro.
You got it, brother.
Man, Time goes by so fast, man.
Hey, that's my brother for real, man. Listen, that guy is a great basketball mind. He does his thing. If you listen to Phoenix Sun Basketball in the Valley on the radio, him and Al McCoy, man, just legendary stuff, man. But off the court, man, away from basketball, man, one of the sweetest guys I know. Love him to death, man. I'm glad he jumped on with us today. This was fun. Yeah, man.
I love listening to him on the games. He be just letting that raw players come out. You can hear it. What is that?
That means the real deal, man. Hey, that's New York. That's the New York in him, man. It's the New York in him, man. I love hearing it, man. We got about a minute left, so we got to get an update real quick. The Wizards 124-89 over the Pacers so far. They got about 8 minutes left in that game, so the Wizards are going to be the 8th seed in the East. And you already know tomorrow's game is, of course, the Golden State Warriors are going to have to face Ja Morant. Let's do it.
The Grizz. So not that matters, but just a footnote. I think that if Golden State wins that game tomorrow, they're going to give Utah some serious trouble.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be two teams that shoot too many damn threes. Whoever's hitting their three at the time is going to win the game.
That's going to be a dogfight.
It could be anybody, man.
It's going to be a dogfight.
Don't think they just got away. Utah to think they got away with one.
Yeah,
they got a fight on their hands with that Steph Curry, man.
That's gonna be a dogfight. Memphis brings it every game, and they're tough. They're tough basketball team, so it's gonna be fun, man. And I can't wait, brother. Countdown. We got through Thursday. Planet Orange, stay with us. We got 2 more days, man, and then we gonna be rumbling in the jungle, baby. Them Phoenix Suns and Lakers. Devin Booker, playoff book. They not ready, man. Let's go. Let's go. Son of the Valley. Let's go, baby.
All right. That is the Kazual Sportz Show. Earl, Burnett, Flex. From Jersey. We will catch you next time right here on KSRN, Kazual Sportz Radio Network. Y'all take care. Peace out.
Peace out, Planet Orange.